Welcome to Tell You Later, the show where we guarantee a laugh or your money back.
Thanks to all those who support us on Patreon. By the way, there's always room for more.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to their channel.
Hello, viewers. I am from the internet. We've been crunching some numbers, doing some studies, analyzing some algorithms, and we've decided this about you. I think you're going to really like what you're about to see.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget.
Do not fail to hit the subscribe button.
And while you're at it, hit like.
Right now.
Hit it!
We haven't got a title song for this show, so we're singing this thing instead.
Okay.
It's really just a substitute. Nonetheless, the melody may stay in your head.
Oh, I hope so.
'Cause it's a tune.
It's a tune.
You'll love to croon.
You'll love to croon.
But there's one thing you should know. We have to confess we do not possess a title song for this show.
Ain't it peculiar?
Believe it or not, we haven't got a title song for this show.
Oops. Hi, I'm Katie Leigh, and welcome back to another episode of Tell You Later. I have two guests today. One is our intern, Drew Dayton, all the way from not Ohio, but Chicago and Taylor University. And I have Robert Samo here. Boy, I don't even know how to begin to introduce you, but...
Fellow SFSU alumni.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that.
San Francisco State University.
San Francisco State University, but I was there before you.
You were, but
Yes,
the
'cause I'm
diplomas
just-
look exactly the same, so no one can tell.
I think I have one somewhere. We're trying to negotiate having 3 people here on set. And
There you go.
it's always a challenge because we're in a very limited space. Actually, I think we're going to be showing a little video of how we set up the studio one of these days. Crew of One put one together. I think you were part of it too, weren't you?
I think so.
We had it's pretty fun. I can't wait to see it. Anyway, first of all, before I get into the conversation interview, my wonderful guest, and Drew's going to help me interview. Thank you to all the patrons out there who are supporting the show. We love you. It's so much fun to be able to do this and cover the costs of things, and we really appreciate you. Those of you who are not watching on Patreon, let me just say, first of all, we have our YouTube show. Those of you who subscribe on Patreon also get a whole bunch more content. You get the whole entire episode along with a couple other special episodes that we do. I don't know if you call it episodes or shows. One's Adventures in Popcorn and one's called Welcome to Later, which is pretty darn funny, I must say. What else? We have special benefits. You know what? It's so cute that I have an intern whose name's Abby who doesn't realize that Mrs. Katie needs glasses. Oh yes, and Anchor and PayPal I must mention, because we're also on Anchor if you just want to listen to the show, and we have a PayPal button if you don't want to subscribe but you just want to help us out. Okay, so enough said about that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. So we went to San Francisco State University, and you remembered that, but we met, I think, at a Comic-Con.
We met at a Comic-Con. I believe it was at Frankenson's, and I was reporting on it. So.
Oh, yeah, because you are a journalist.
Yeah, I run Fanboy Nation. I also co-own Fangirl Nation.
Which is kind of funny.
Well, you know.
Because you're not a fangirl.
No, but, you know, you have to cover your bases, and the women need a place to go, too. You don't just give them a small section on the side.
So are you, like, so what's the difference between Fanboy and Fangirl?
Some of the topics we cover, there's a lot more literary stuff on Fangirl Nation than there is on Fanboy Nation.
So is it a website?
Yeah.
A show?
It's a website, fangirlnation.com, fanboynation.com. We do interviews on YouTube, obviously, on Anchor as well. We review movies and books and fights on Fanboy Nation, Fangirl Nation, same thing. A lot less fighting and a lot less professional wrestling on that side, though.
Oh, okay, all right. So, and how do, you also, I think you have an actual fan girl who helps you, right?
We have Tori Irwin, and we have, Tori Irwin Biggs. We have to mention her married name as well, and Jessica Greenland, who are both a part of it. And please forgive me, I didn't sleep very well last night, but I'm here and I'm alert.
Because he had a mouse in his house.
Yeah.
A little baby mouse kept you up.
That big, running around, came through the front door when I left it open.
Run across your face?
No, that would have been terrifying.
I'm always scared of that. Yeah, I don't want any mices running across my face.
Yeah.
But why did it keep you up at night? Was it noisy?
No, just the fear that it's going to show up somewhere.
I know. Bill Cosby used to do a skit about that, actually. Wow, but now you got an actual exterminator. I'm thinking about, what was the show Pee Wee Herman was in where he played an exterminator?
Oh, man. Pee Wee's done so much. I don't remember which one it was, but...
That was... So at Fanboy Nation, it's journalistic, so you interview people from all walks of entertainment, correct?
Yeah. Yesterday we just interviewed JJ French from Twisted Sister for his new book. We've interviewed Morgan Freeman, Salma Hayek. We've also interviewed, professional fighters. Boss Rutan, he's an actor now, but he was an undefeated MMA fighter, and he's working with Karate Combat. So, we cover all different walks of life. Comic book creators, Rob Liefeld, when just recently, because of the 30th anniversary for X-Force, and he's doing the Snake Eyes crossover for G.I. Joe.
And I know nothing about that. But that's okay, because it sounds fascinating to all your fan people. The fan people nation must love it. And do you actually make a living doing this?
We keep the lights on.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing, because...
It's not like we're Variety or anything, but, the lights are still on.
Yes, but you get to do what you want to do. You don't have to have a whole bunch of corporate lawyers, right?
You need at least one.
You do?
Yeah.
So, you know what? Part of the reason I wanted you to come on here, and I know Drew's going to have a bunch of questions too, is I think people are interested. I mean, they can tell by watching our show that we don't know what we're doing, but you've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
So we want to get some tips and want you to share how you've created your Fanboy Nation, because it pretty much is a nation at this point. The fan people world. You live underground? Is that what they live under? The fan people nation. They live underground. They come out for boxing.
Just convention and next month. No.
Yeah, and then they go back underground.
No, people have lives and jobs and everything.
So I want to hear, excuse me, I want to hear about that. Mm-hmm. And I also want for you to talk about how you have gone from being just a journalist, which isn't just, but being a journalist, to venturing into the world of voiceover. Okay. And Drew has mentioned he's interested also in being in voiceover, and I haven't really told him anything, but maybe you can share your journey. Of all the
people who hasn't told him anything, it's you?
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, you know why? I'll tell you why. I started 40 years ago. You're starting now. Your story is going to be much more relevant for a newcomer than it will be if somebody hears my story. Oh, I picked up a phone. Nobody does that anymore. I called an agency. My agent answered the phone and said, oh, come down here. We want to talk to you. Probably that's not going to happen these days, right? So we want to hear all about that. So, first of all, do you have any fanboy questions or what he does journalistic wise? I know we kind of sprung this on you.
No, that's all right. So you mentioned you started your own website and it's been off. So how did you first start to
And when
grow
did it
that?
start?
Yeah, when did it start and how did you first start to...
And did you study journalism at San Francisco
I studied journalism at San Francisco State. I spent literally 2 weeks at a newspaper in Southern California. I don't want to mention the name, but MMA.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a long run.
Well, MMA had just started to grow, and one of the local fighters in Huntington Beach, Tito Ortiz, who was recently mayor and no longer, was...
He's not the guy who makes the vodka.
No.
Okay, just...
was light heavyweight champion of the UFC at the time. So I had pitched the sports editor, hey, this MMA thing is going to be huge. We should hop on it and interview Tito since he's a local boy. And they said, pitch that to A&E because that's on par with pro wrestling. And I looked at him, I said, oh, you're short-sighted. And then I walked away because of that.
You don't have an attitude at all.
No,
do you?
man.
No.
I've calmed down in my old
But you're
age.
smart. But okay, so it sounds like it worked out. So what happened? You walked away. You said, "To heck with you guys. You don't know what you're talking about."
Did some
Southern
freelance
California rag,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Did a lot of freelance stuff. Went back to graduate school. Got my master's degree in theology from Vanguard University.
Which totally plays into the journalism aspect.
Well, it was my minor.
Because
Was
the Bible
religious
is printed. What?
It's all Gutenberg's fault.
Well, I guess
So with the
if
printing
you
press.
think about it, the Bible is journal,
Well,
right? It's
yeah.
It's news, right?
At the time it was. Now it's history.
Yeah, wow. And that is so true about journalism, isn't it? What's news now is history later.
What's also news today is your bird cages lining tomorrow. So that used to, for those of you that actually know what a newspaper is, see, it's this big thing with like ink that gets
Words
all
on
over
it?
your hand that just smells really bad. So.
Yeah, a newspaper. Wow. So 2 weeks you worked at the newspaper, you quit that and
I
went to get
quit.
your theology degree
Went back to
because you
graduate
couldn't
school.
cope. Okay.
No. I mean, I did freelance and stuff, but I always wanted to go back and have an advanced degree and finish my master's degree. So I did that because my minor was religious studies.
Wow.
And then just continued on from there. And I said, if I ever get back into journalism, I'm just going to do my own thing because Mark Webb, if you've ever seen the movie Kill the Messenger, was a reporter at the San Jose Mercury News. And when he exposed the federal government, and I will say allegedly because I don't want to have the same thing happen to me.
There's an inspector who comes around here, and I don't want to
Yeah.
get another violation. We already owe him $375.
Well, Mark committed suicide by shooting himself in the back of the head 3 times from 10 feet away. And, I'm not that good of a shot. So
Wow.
I thought entertainment would be easier because if I give a Warner Brothers movie a bad review, they just don't invite me to the next one.
Whoa.
Stick with
Well,
politics.
That's pretty serious.
Yeah, so.
Just out of, I don't want to take away from Drew's question, but, and I'm still thinking about the logistics of that gunshot, that you went back to get your theology degree.
I taught for a few
And
years
you
with
said,
it, yeah.
so that was your intention to teach, not to, because you said if I ever go back to journalism, so what are you going to do with theology? Just sit there and
Right.
You taught.
It's to pray that it'll succeed.
That makes sense. Okay, all right. So you were teaching.
Yeah, I taught for a little while with it, a few years, and I said if I ever went back to journalism, I'm gonna have fun with it. And animation has always been a huge passion of mine because it's a very interesting field, especially in Western animation, where you lay down the track first, and then they animate to you. Or to your voice.
Right.
And then they use some of your mannerisms and your tics and twitches, and they stick that into the cartoon without you knowing, and then you find out, wait, that's me?
There are some similarities, and when I coach people in animation, I always say, add extra stuff, add the stuff that's not written in the script, like the size and the whatever physical stuff, because that gives the animator something to draw
To enjoy the full episode, please support us at patreon.com/tellyoulater. Thanks a lot.
Well, if we think of anything else, we'll tell you later.
'Cause rhythm rides the range.
Tell You Later is a Patreon-driven entertainment show. Thanks for watching at patreon.com/Tell You Later.
Rhythm rides the range. Rhythm rides the range. Cactus thrive on jump and jive 'cause rhythm rides the range. Rhythm, it rides the range. Rhythm rides the range. Gun bells drop for Lindy Hop 'cause rhythm rides the range. The prairie's ringing. Guitar stars are swinging, cowpokes are slinging, syncopated singing.
Lassen die Toast mein Herr.
Ganilla. Co-hosts of Welcome to Later. And when we're not doing that,
We're watching Tell You Later.
join us, will you?
It's our job, you see.